Hi everybody, Marco Carbajo here from businesscreditblogger.com. Today's video, we are going to talk about how to report trade lines on demand. So for those of you wanting to build business credit, you're trying to increase your credit worthiness as a business, this is the video for you because we're going to share with you how to report trade lines to Equifax Business, Creditsafe, and Ansonia. So these are three major business credit reporting agencies. So let's get started with the presentation. What we put together are some of the most common questions that we've heard from business owners like you, and this is probably a question you have if you're a startup or existing business. And we're going to provide for you the solution to these key questions when it comes to building business credit. Number one, we get lots of business owners that ask us, why don't my business accounts report to the business credit reporting agencies? Because that's a common thing. You've been in business maybe for some years, but you realize you don't have a business credit file established for your company. Okay, so why is that? We're going to address that and how to fix that. Which utility companies, vendors, suppliers, etc. report to the business credit reporting agencies? That seems to be the ongoing theme. There's lots of videos that go out there doing vendor accounts or net 30 accounts, showing this particular vendor reports to this business credit bureau, this vendor reports to this credit bureau, this vendor stopped reporting. We're going to squash that and share with you how to not only target vendors that don't report, we're going to share with you how to get them to report. Not by asking them to, but how you can get those accounts to report yourself through on-demand verification. Okay, so that whole mystery of does this vendor report or which business credit bureau do they report to, we're going to share with you how to leverage your existing relationships and how to basically address this question here. Why does my vendor only report to one business credit reporting agency? So you may have a net 30 account. Let's say it reports to Dun Bradstreet. So that's one positive trade line that's reporting. But what if that's one payment experience, but it doesn't show up on Equifax. It doesn't show up on multiple business credit bureaus. So you may only have one trade line reporting on DNB with that one vendor, but that vendor doesn't share that data with the other credit bureaus for the business. So what can you do about it? So we're going to share with you how to address that. Now, another key question we get is, what if a vendor, supplier, service provider, or business account does not report, or they stop reporting to a business credit reporting agency? Because I get it. There's plenty of vendors or suppliers or business accounts that you have may have credit with, or you may be paying a monthly bill with. They don't report to your business credit. So then that's a very frustrating thing for business owners. So how do I build business credit? We're going to share with you how to get those accounts reporting to your business credit reports. So what's great about that is there is plenty of vendors out there that you may really need their products and services, and they extend net 30 accounts. So now you don't have to be so picky on where you get net 30 accounts to start building business credit. You can now build your business credit with any net 30 account or any business account or utility account. And I'm going to share with you how to do that. I've been in business for years, but have no business credit established. We get that so many times. And the question is, where should I start? How do I start doing it? I've been in business for years. We're going to share with you how to turbocharge that right away by leveraging the existing relationships and accounts you already have as an existing business. Okay, so you'll see on the bottom, this is our main website, businesscreditbuilders.org. We have funding programs that are done for you funding, where we get you funding and it helps you build business credit. But we also have a do-it-yourself business credit building system. So if you want to find out more about our products and services that we offer as a company, just check out businesscreditbuilders.org. Now, the solution to those key questions that we just talked about is through on-demand account verification. Now, I'm going to explain to you how that works, but more importantly, you want to stay through this whole video because I'm going to share with you a snapshot of a before and after example of how powerful this strategy is. Because there's things like this that are so important that we share here on this channel that you may not hear throughout all the other different types of videos out there, but we're going to share with you how to build business credit strategically, okay? So let's talk about on-demand account verification. You can now manually verify business accounts and report up to 24 months of payment history with this service, okay? This is not something you're doing yourself. This is a company that provides this service, okay? So the first thing you do is you set up a business lift account, and you go to businesscreditbuilderservices.com. That's going to take you to our partners page, which is Incredible. They're going to charge you $49.95 one-time setup fee, and then $9.95 a month for automatic business credit reporting. You've heard me do a video about this. You can see this video right up here where we talk about automatic business credit reporting, and that's where you can set up, link your utility accounts to your Lyft account, and then they report it every single month, and they also upload up to 24 months of your payment history, like with your utility accounts. Okay, so but that's through automatic reporting, so that's what's included in this service. But there's many accounts that maybe you can't automatically report through this service. What about accounts like vendor accounts, supplier accounts, business accounts, service provider accounts that you cannot automatically report? You can't find it in their utility search account in their dashboard here. So they have an additional service that's available to you as a Lyft customer, which is on-demand manual verification. That gives you, the business owner, the opportunity to manually verify and request them to verify your account, and they report it to Equifax, Creditsafe, and Ansonia. Now, they do charge $19.95 per account that you want to verify. And what they do is when they verify that account, they go back up to 24 months of payment history, depending if your provider provides it to them, however much data they provide. But they report it up to that date that they report it. So it's because this reporting is done one time. So what we recommend is to maybe do a manual verification once every 6 months or once every year to keep your payment history up to date. Okay, because they're only going to report up to the date that they manually verify your account. Okay, but the requirements for this is the account must be in your name if you're the owner of your business, or in the business's name, or in the name of a principal of the company. So you hear a lot of people saying, well, you know, with utility accounts, you have to change it in your business's name in order to do automatic business credit reporting. It's not mandatory that as long as you're the owner, and let's say you have a cell phone or Verizon account, let's just say, and it's in your personal name, but it's used for your business. Well, you're the owner. That doesn't mean you have to change over your Verizon account into the business name. They can still report it to these business credit bureaus because you're the owner. Do I recommend you get it in the business name? Yes, but it's not a requirement for this particular service. Okay, so let's talk about what happens when you sign up. You sign up for your Lyft account. This is just kind of giving you an example of what you're going to see in the dashboard. So you'll see the $9.95 is the monthly fee you pay for your Lyft account. So you'll see on this first tab here, the good news is that $9.95 does report to 4 business credit bureaus. It reports to Dun Bradstreet, Equifax Business, Creditsafe, and Ansonia. It doesn't report as like a line of credit or a credit limit. It's just reporting what you're paying, the $9.95. Not very much, I know, but it is an active trade line. As you know, you need at least 4 accounts reporting to generate your payback score with Dun Bradstreet. Okay, so DMB, Equifax, and you'll see here the last time it was reported and verified. Now here is where you can sync your accounts, like your automatic reporting, because part of their Lyft service that you pay $9.95 a month for is they do automatic reporting of your utility accounts, like your cell phone, your cable, etc. Okay, so you can see you can link it here, and how you link it is you basically add new account. Now there's also manual verification here, and that's what the purpose of this video is. So once you set up your Lyft account, now I'm going to share with you how you do an on-demand manual verification. So you also want to do your automatic accounts like that you can find in your search. So find in the search bar, which I'm going to share with you next. So first thing you do when you log in, you click Add New Account. That's going to take you to this screen here. So it says before you link your business account, you have to answer these 2 questions. Your name is on the account, so you're legally financially responsible for this account you want to have reported, and that the account is used through the operation of your business. Okay, so even if the account is in your personal name, it has to be an account that's used for your business. Okay, so the next thing what's going to happen is once you click next, Then you're going to do a search for your utility company. Now, obviously, vendor accounts, supplier accounts are not utility companies, so you're not going to find them in the search. So any business account, service provider account, or utility account that you cannot locate in their search here, then you're going to need to do an on-demand verification. That's where you see this tab here, the circle. It says add a manually verified account. So remember, there's two things you could do here. You could do automatic reporting. That's if you can find your utility company in this search tab. You can do automatic reporting. But if you can't, then you have to do an manual verification. So the next thing is you click next, or excuse me, click this link if you have to do a manually verified account. This is the next screen that's going to pop up. It's going to ask for the service provider or the vendor or the supplier, whatever company you're trying to manually add as a trade line that you have an existing relationship with. Okay. Now I want to say one quick thing. Before you do a manual verification, an on-demand trade line is the fact that you have to be paying this service provider or this business account or this whatever account it is at least once a month or every quarter or once every 6 months. Okay? It can't be an account that you only pay once a year. Okay? So there has to be some activity there. Or if you've already had a history of payments with this vendor, that's fine too. Okay. Now you put the vendor name in here, or business name, or service provider name, address, city, state, zip, phone number, and then it's going to ask for your account number with that provider. Okay. So then it's going to take you to the next screen to obviously pay the $19.95 to manually add. Now, one thing I want to want to say is when you go back to your dashboard, let me go back to this dashboard here. Once you do that, that account is going to show up in here. So here's a particular company. This is an email servicing company, AWeber, that it's now in verification. So, but it hasn't verified yet. Now, I want you to be realize is to pay attention to your email, because the account verification department may email you. There may be an issue. You may have to reach out to your provider to confirm that, yes, you want them to release your payment history to them, or there may be questions. So make sure you pay attention to that, because that's how you're going to assist the verification department to verify your account. Okay? So let's go back to accounts that are not eligible to manually report. Is accounts that are not in your name or in the name of the principal of your business. Personal accounts that are already reporting to credit reporting agencies like Equifax, TransUnion, Experian. So, like whether a mortgage, a credit card, loan, if they're already reporting to the major credit bureaus, you cannot manually add them for business on-demand verification. Okay, accounts that cannot be reached by phone, fax, or email. There are online services out there that don't provide any type of phone number to contact. It's strictly done online with support tickets and stuff like that. So the verification department cannot verify. They can't speak to someone. Then you can't use them. You can't add them as a trade line. Utility companies, vendors, or suppliers that cannot be verified as a legitimate business entity by name, address, white or yellow page listing, Secretary of State, BBB, or other verifications methods. So this has to be legitimate business that you have a relationship with for your company to add as a trade line. Okay, accounts that have been closed or no payments made in the last 24 months. Business credit counseling accounts. If you have a service account with a business credit counseling agency, an international account as well. Okay, so let's talk about the questions that we talked about earlier. Why don't my business accounts report to the business credit reporting agencies? Well, what we just shared with you is now, if you have a business account that doesn't report, is now you can manually add that account through this service, on-demand verification. You're going to pay $49.95 to set up a lift service. You go to businesscreditbuilderservices.com. Then that's $9.95 a month. That $9.95 a month, that $10 a month, basically, reports to Dun Bradstreet. So that's one positive trade line. Then you're going to do the manual verification. So that's the $19.95. That's a one-time payment. But you can add your business account strategically, $19.95 for each account. And now those accounts will report to Equifax Business, Creditsafe, and Ansonia. Number 2, which utility companies, vendors, suppliers, etc. report to the business credit reporting agencies? Let's say there's a vendor you find that is extending credit and you really could use a net 30 account or a next 60-day account with that vendor. They have products and services you need to grow your business and you can see yourself using that account. But let's say you don't want to apply because they don't report to the business credit bureaus. Well, now you don't have to use that as a determining factor because number 1, that is a positive trade reference if you have a relationship with them. But number 2 now you know that you can add them by doing on-demand verification. So that relationship will now report to 3 business credit bureaus: Equifax Business, Creditsafe, and Ansonia. So that's huge. So we just shared with you how to overcome that question is finding a company that reports to business credit agencies. Now it doesn't matter because now you can add them through on-demand reporting. Another key question that we talked about earlier was, why does my vendor only report to 1 business credit reporting agency? Well, now we just squashed that. Now we share with you how to add 3 more business credit reporting agencies that account will report to. So now that would be that 1 account. Let's say you have 1 vendor who reports to Dun Bradstreet. Well, now that 1 vendor account will report, you can have it through on-demand reporting to Equifax, Creditsafe, and Ansonia as well. So that's 4 business credit bureaus that one vendor account is reporting to now, which is powerful. Okay, so what if a vendor, supplier, service provider, or business account does not report or stops reporting to a business credit reporting agency? Again, solution to that question that we talked about earlier, now you can report these accounts to these 3 business credit bureaus in either one of those scenarios. Last question we talked about, I've been in business for years, I have no business credit established, where should I start? Okay, most people say, well, just get a whole bunch of net 30 accounts, you start building your business credit that way. I don't recommend that being the first thing you do. What I recommend is you start by signing up for a business lift account. Why is that? Because you add your utility accounts. Those are accounts you already have. You've already been paying on. If you're an existing business for a year or 2 years or 5 years, you obviously have a business phone line. You probably have your utility accounts you're paying, your internet service, your cable service. You probably have many service providers like an email service, a web hosting service. You probably have an advertising company you're paying to do your advertising. So you have all those relationships. So why not first have your utility accounts reporting, get all that past payment history reporting to your business credit bureaus, then also do some manual verification on your existing accounts and add all that existing payment history. Then you go into start scaling and getting new credit, like your vendor account stuff. Imagine what would happen though. You add all those existing relationships to your business credit reports, and then you start getting some net 30 accounts. Guess what? The net 30 accounts now will already see all this payment activity. They'll see all these multiple trade lines reporting. So your approvals are going to be even better and stronger and easier to scale up your business credit. So that's why I say as an existing business, this is one of the first things you should be doing is leverage what you've already done as a business for all this time. Okay? Now, let me give you a real powerful example, and this is going to that's why I like doing these presentations. I know people out there are visual. You can hear things all day long, but you want to see it, okay? So let's just say you go the route, and this is very typical when you're building business credit. You already have a vendor that you applied with. We've done tons of videos on net 30 accounts, and I'm sure I know there's plenty of videos, people doing videos on net 30s, who they report to. But let's say you got 1 vendor account that reports to Dun Bradstreet, and that's all they report to. So now you have 1 trade line reporting to DMB. Then you get another vendor account, and then let's say they report only to Experian Business. So you have 2 vendor accounts here, but you only have 1 trade line reporting to DMB and 1 trade line reporting to Experian. Let's say you got another vendor account, but let's say this vendor stopped reporting or they don't report it, and that we call that does not report DNR, okay? So now you have a 3rd vendor account, but it doesn't even show up on your business credit reports, okay? And let's say now you have a supplier account as a business that reports to Dun & Bradstreet and Experian, but you also have another supplier account, a couple service providers that you use for web hosting. You have a marketing company that you use. You have your utility accounts like your cell phone. You have mailing services, let's say. You even have a retail account that you got with a retailer, Net30, but they don't report. So let's say you have a total of 12 different accounts that you know that your company is paying for services, etc., monthly or quarterly or even semi-annually, but you only have, out of all these 12 potentially great payment experiences you have as a business, you only have 2 trade lines reporting to DMB and two trade lines reporting to Experian out of all this. Do you see? That's typical. That happens all the time. Okay, so what if you integrated the service I'm telling you about? You go through on-demand verification, and then you say, you know what, I want to add all this activity. So now let's talk about what happens if you use on-demand verification. Vendor number 1 is now not only reporting to Dun Bradstreet, but now you have it showing up on Equifax, Creditsafe, and Ansonia. So that one vendor account is now reporting to 4 business credit bureaus as opposed to 1. Vendor number 1 is still reporting to DMB. That's what they do. It has nothing to do with the vendor itself. You're just having this manually verified through the on-demand verification service that we talked about. And once they verify your vendor 1 account, now it's going to report to Equifax, Creditsafe, and Ansonia. Let's talk about vendor number 2 was reporting to Experian. Now it's reporting to Equifax, Creditsafe, and Ansonia. So again, that other trade line is now reporting to 4 business credit bureaus. The one vendor 3 account that did not report now reports to 3 business credit bureaus. Supplier number 1 that reported to DMB and Experian only now reports to all the other 3. So that's 5 business credit bureaus that one account is reporting to. Do you see how powerful this is? Because I know it can be frustrating building business credit, because you may get one vendor that reports just to DMB, but it doesn't show up on Experian, or it doesn't show up on Creditsafe, etc. So you're like basically trying to pinpoint which vendors to get credit with, because based on where they report, and you have to find out who they report to, or did they stop reporting, and it's frustrating. And that's why we have our business credit building system that helps eliminate a lot of that. But I'm sharing with you a service that you can take advantage of that allows you that control, where you could strategically know that, okay, now I know all my accounts are reporting to at least these 3 business credit bureaus, in addition to the business credit bureaus they report to. Okay, so let's talk about what happens with all these other providers that weren't reporting. Guess what? Now you have them all reporting to 3 major business credit bureaus. You see how powerful this is? I mean, that's 12 trade lines now reporting to at least, 3 major business credit bureaus. Okay, so that's the power of the service, businesscreditbuilderservices.com. Remember, it's $49.95 to set up your Lyft account. Then they charge $9.95 a month. Then $9.95 reports to Dun Bradstreet, so that's another positive trade line for you. And then you want to automatically sync your utility accounts, but then you can also do the on-demand verification, okay? So, I mean, this is so powerful, folks, because I just share with you how you can overcome many of the challenges that you probably have or will face when it comes to building business credit, especially if you're an existing business. I share with you a real fast way to start turbocharging the business credit building process. So if you found value in this video, please give us a thumbs up. And the other thing I want to share with you is check us out at businesscreditbuilders.org. That's where we offer our funding and do-it-yourself business credit building system. With that, make it a great day, and we'll talk to you real soon.